So when I say the words solo leveling, what typically pops into your head? Revenge story, one man saving the world, Chaein, or a MC being able to answer the tough questions like would you rather wear Levi's or jeans? These are all valid descriptions of solo leveling, and if you're like me and you can't wait for the next chapter to drop week over week, you are in complete luck today because I'll be introducing to you guys 5 webtoon titles to keep you entertained until the next time you start simping after Haein. So arise, my fellow degenerates, as we dive into these 5 different worlds. At number 1, we have God of High School. Shit, my bad. I mean God of Blackfield. This story follows Kang Chan, a legendary mercenary of the French Foreign Legion. So on one mission with his squad, his mission operation was to assassinate a high-profile leader. But instead of it being a quiet military exercise, Kang Chan and his whole squad found themselves in the middle of a Michael Bay movie. To make things even worse, this surprise attack started to kill his squad mates one by one, and the ultimate blow was that somebody in his own squad betrayed him and shot him in the back. Before he could see the face of his killer, Kang Chan, the mercenary, dies, and like Chin-woo waking up in the hospital after his experience in the double dungeon, Kang Chan also finds himself in a random hospital in Seoul. But instead of Chin-woo's Chad body transformation, this top 1% mercenary man finds himself reborn as a scrawny senior high school boy, also named Kang Chan, and on top of that, this Kang Chan was bullied in school. But thankfully though, he was able to retain both his fighting experience and his intellect from his past life. So now, this dude tries to live this double life of attending high school, but also trying to figure out who the f*** killed him back in that African war. That of course constitutes him whooping the whole main cast of Yakuza 0, kimchi slapping the hoe out of Korean chicks to establish gender equality, and picking up French girls like he's out here shooting a Rosetta Stone commercial. I honestly fell in love with the mom, the art style, and I'm really contemplating creating a whole separate video of this amazing series. If you love Baki, Beelzebub, and of course solo leveling, you need to check the series out. At number 2, we have My Wife is a Demon Queen. Talking about gender equality, this series is also an interesting one because it leans on the strength of the female lead instead of the male lead. This series follows a NEET by the name of Zhang Yi, who literally spends his whole day playing video games and drawing. Then after drifting off to sleep, he wakes up in a full-blown war between demons and humans. And just under the pretext of Jing and this young demon queen having matching rings, they're all of a sudden husband and wife. As the demon city is collapsing and the demon queen Isabella loses magic, this pair must slip away from this damned city. However, a human army catches up to them, and before they get Goblin Slayer episode 1 / redo of the hero treatment, a handsome mofo that looks like Prince Arslan himself saves these two. He then takes them back to his mansion, and he was oddly attracted to Jing because this dude sold him the story that he was a slave in the demon tribe his whole life and he managed to escape. With this knight's family's influence, both Isabella and Jing was able to enroll into Royal Academy in pursuit of more power. While Isabella seemed like the perfect fit for the school with both her flawless magic and swordsmanship, Jing was just chilling out here like a Skyrim NPC. Thankfully, he found his calling of drawing anime girls, forging, which leverages his gifted skills in drawing. So, how will the romance between these two opposites blossom? Is Sophus's long-lost brother Arslan, and can Jing create the perfect anime body pillow with his forging skills? Find out next time on Dragon Queen Z! At number 3, we have Kill the Hero. This was another personal favorite of mine, and it's perfect for y'all because season 1 just ended, so you can jump in the bandwagon before the creator launches season 2. Kill the Hero follows a player by the name of Woojin. Woojin lives in the world where it got transformed into a game, and now dungeons and monsters have overtaken the cities. At the same time, certain people got selected as players to fight back these monsters and to clear these dungeons. Woojin was one of the top players and was even part of the world's most powerful guild, the Messiah Guild. which was a guild led by the hero and the apparent world savior by the name of Lee Se-jun, while Woo Jin and the Messiah Guild was entering the final venue to fight the final boss. Our boy got Rachel'd, and he died by the sword of the man who he entrusts his very life to. Thankfully, Woo Jin got reborn as his past life and retained that vivid memory of getting the Rachel treatment. I mean shit, that activated his Korean rage as he wiped out a whole orc army like a psychopathic school shooter. And when he put his Subarashi face on, you know shit about to get real, y'all. From that moment on, it was honestly hype after hype. Woo Jin out here are rising motherfuckers, drinking goblin tears and making Goblin Slayer sound proud by committing mass goblin genocide. And really, while all these adventurers are producing $2.75 convenience store soju, my boy out here producing $300 gold premium Korean red ginseng extract. I'm honestly rooting for my man on this long path of revenge, and I look forward to the day where he slays that cursed Rachel. At number 4, we have I Am Sorcerer King. This series reminds me of Solo Leveling as well because it follows a man named Lee Sung-hoon who was absolutely weak and the bottom of the totem pole. Like Jinwoo in Solo Leveling, Sung-hoon had to go on these hunting missions to raise enough money for his mom's medical treatment. Thankfully, after getting kicked around for so long and having a whole ass tank being dropped on his ass, Sung-hoon remembers his past life as a sorcerer king. And once he was able to connect to his past life, the best way to describe him is he is a gentleman Chad. He politely lifts 50 tons of concrete off part-time workers. He politely heals girls that fell from the sky. And he even politely strengthens thick cat girl teammates. Sung-hoon doesn't want anything in return, and he just wants to restore his lost power and save his mom from illness. Sounds like a hardworking, blue-collar Korean man to me. Now, this is a series that many of y'all are not surprised at all for being in my list. From the same creators of Solo Leveling, I present you to Overgeared. Now, before we proceed, can y'all agree with me that this man's armor looks exactly like High School's DxD's scale mail? Well, anyways, this series follows a man by the name of Young Woo Shin, a game addict who was obsessed with this 2 billion player VR game called Satisfy. Well, he has worse luck than Gintama's Taizo and Guts combined. He was able to stumble across this legendary book that allowed him to be reborn as a descendant of a literal blacksmith god. However, using this book spurred the rage of this Arrow, and even though he was able to be reborn, he got wiped out by the Arrow's army and was now at level -1. Days later, he goes into a different dungeon, and of course he had to fight the world's top number 5 player named Yura. Surprisingly, he was able to use the unique skill of blocking her most powerful attack. But before Woo Shin could land the finishing blow, his NPC teammate killed him by jumping on his back to jump off, and he instantly died because he only had 1 HP. This caused him to now be at level -2. Honestly, this was Woo Shin's whole mood when this happened.
Fuck my life! Hey, goddamn!
However, what I admire about Woo Shin's character was that he was able to be persistent, and that persistence really helped him push through trial after trial. He was soon able to build on his ultimate unique skill of being able to blacksmith things just by analyzing the material makeup of that item. By the way, that blacksmith dude is best girl. I came into this series thinking that we would get another Cha Hae-in, but instead we got a 55-year-old bald European man. So as this man is creating a harem of muscular blacksmiths around the world, we eventually get to see his evolution into a Chad man of mining for materials in front of Satan himself as whole guilds are being wiped out like Dynasty Warriors. So yeah, that was my list. You got revenge stories, a lot of Korean rage, and finally Jinwoo Chad-like behavior all around. What do you guys think of this list? And if I'm missing any other great webtoon titles that remind you of Solo Leveling, let me know down below. Also, expect several videos of God of Blackfield and Overgeared to drop very soon, so make sure to subscribe. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out my video. This is your boy Yeman. Peace out.